kind of is funny, and I guess I really never thought of it in this way, but I definitely think in this way now. So if you look behind me, over my shoulder right there, behind my head, I think you can see, like, there's my Hobao poster. Now, the Hobao poster fits there absolutely great, and that's where it's staying. It's not going anywhere. Behind it, you can see red. That used to be where my Traxxas poster was. It fit kind of okay, and eventually what I was going to do is I was going to change it to a different wall. But seeing how Traxxas is changing up things, information that I literally just got about a motor swap from somebody else from a different company, and how Traxxas is handling my XMAXX issue, yeah, you know what? That Traxxas banner can actually stay right there, and my Hobao banner can stay overlaid on top of that. So I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm just fired up, because it seems like the more information that you get, the more things that you hear, you start to realize how certain companies really are in the end. And what they're all about is themselves, not the customer. Even though, like I said before, we the people, we are the ones that make and break these companies. It can be done, so they better watch their step. All right, so we just had a pretty nice live. Obviously, you can see there's still residual stuff from the live that we did, and it was ripping apart the Traxxas XMAXX that I have, which is late. Basically, it's a 2-day-old rip, meaning the truck has only been driven twice, and we did come across in what's, I'm sorry, my opinion, warranty issues. So while all of that stuff is happening, I got a notification from an individual. He owns a company, and he says that he just got a notification on his side that there may be a delivery or a package in my mailbox. I'm actually going to check it out right now. So we are doing this literally right after the live, probably like 10 minutes after the live just ended, the COVID and Coffee part 2 of the XMAXX teardown, whatever, 2-rip teardown or something. So mailbox, we got this right here. That's not it. We got that. And we got this. All right. So inside of this little box right here should be a very special little thing. I will do a live unboxing. I won't even open it. I literally will just leave it in the box, and I'll do a live unboxing. I actually do not know what's inside this box. I have a very slight suspicion, but I'm not positive. So it was kind of almost like a covert ops kind of thing. I will tell you though, it's from a company called Game Changer RC. And if you haven't heard about myself and Earl Moorhead talking about Game Changer RC, it might be a company that you're going to want to watch. So anyways, I'm going back inside to, video how I'm going to clean my Traxxas XMAXX. I think it might be ready. All right, look at all that steam coming out of there. Oh, we got here. Got a Traxxas XMAXX. Looks like the electronics are nice and washed. Beautiful. Look at that. Now look at how clean all this stuff is by washing it in your dishwasher. That is definitely the best route to go. So if you own an XMAXX, I would definitely suggest a total tear down after every single run, and then basically just toss it in your dishwasher and then put it on high temp pot and pan wash, and then everything will be nicely washed. Let's see, did it get all the grease? Oh, look at that. Even those channels, all the grease is gone. Oh, I love it. This is beautiful. These are the parts, and this is the plan. Obviously, you can see we've got stuff in the kitchen sink. Got the chassis right here. The center part of the chassis is just going to get a little bit of water, kind of on those areas right there where the connection points are. There really isn't much there really isn't much of a concern when it comes to this. Just like I said, just these connection points, that's all I'm literally caring about. So, but as far as this goes, we are going to completely wash this. Hot water. I've got a couple of various brushes and whatnot, and I will be putting a concoction of like soap and whatever. Then I also have this, which is alcohol. I'm basically going to spray everything in this alcohol spray to hopefully kind of clean things up. And then, yes, I do have like a sponge. Make sure that if you use this sponge, do not use it for dishes any longer. So we're going to be swapping out that sponge for a new sponge to wash dishes with. I mean, it's not like we don't have a dishwasher, but still. All these parts, so say like these little parts right here, so like all this grease, all that grease in there, same thing, grease, debris, all of this stuff right here is going to be manually cleaned basically with just a paper towel, and that's how I'm going to handle that. Yeah, so this is point blank. This is the process. This is part 3 to the 2-day rip of the Traxxas XMAXX. And, like, yeah, the aftermath, the cleanup, the complete disassembly, and then we're going to reassemble it. And, yeah, so if you want to watch this episode from RC Guy Garage, this is literally me cleaning the parts. I don't know, guys. Oh, whatever. It is what it is. Just like I always say, it is what it is. So, basic paper towel. And literally just start, like, wiping parts out. Like, get the most amount of just junk that you can get out as possible out of all these areas. The alcohol and the soap and water and everything will take care of pretty much everything else, but just do the best that you can just to get all that, you know, the majority of the junk out of there. That's literally, that's it. This is how I do it. So that part's fine. Also, you do want to keep kind of like parts together. So I want to make sure that I keep that part with this part. So same thing, just going to wipe out the grease. Anything that's in there, get it out, manually just clean it, you know? Just wipe it out the best you can. You're not going to get everything, but just, you know, do the best you can. The brush and the soap and all that stuff should definitely help with any of the residual that might be in there. So, paper towel, like I say, paper towel, I always say paper towel is your friend, so make sure we don't lose any screws. That's it. That part's all set. And we'll go after this part. This is the rear end. Obviously this is the rear end because that's where the motor sits. Right in there. Again, just do the best you can. Get as much of this junk out of there as you can. And then you just leave like the rest of it for like soap and water. You know what I'm saying? Just, that's it. Same thing with this, too. Just, you know, just do the best you can. Get all the grit and junk out of there. So, there we go. Cleaned up. Same thing with this little cover. This was that cover that was part of that cush drive. So it's the cush drive is like right here, and then the other gear that goes to the center diff is actually right there. So same thing, paper towel. And just do your best, wipe it out. Now I'm actually wiping it out over a trash bin. What I'm hoping is hot water is going to be my friend. Not perfect, but close enough. And obviously same thing with these diff covers. Same thing, just do the best you can. Paper towel, what do they call it? They call it elbow grease. So literally we're using elbow grease to basically get rid of the old grease. So, you know. Why am I missing one of those covers? Isn't that funny? I'm actually missing one of those covers. I think it must be in the other one. So this cover I had technically already kind of wiped out and cleaned, but I'll set that aside. Now we're just basically going to get the water nice and hot. I'm using a stainless steel bowl to put my soap in. I was just going to take the alcohol and basically just spray all the parts. Just get it all nice and saturated. Same thing all in here. Just let it marinate. Like this piece here, alcohol. Let it marinate. Same thing. Spray it down with alcohol. Alcohol, spray it down. Let it kind of do its thing. Not really necessary to do this backside. Also, if you have any open cuts or whatever, you're going to find them. Once you start spraying alcohol onto stuff, you'll realize that, you know, you got some slices on your fingers. The alcohol is definitely going to find where those little cuts are, so I'm already feeling it right now. So, same thing. I think these covers are probably the same, right? These two covers, they look like they're the same, front and rear. They look identical. So, letting that stuff marinate. Give it a couple more sprays. You can see there's still boulders and stuff, rocks and stuff that are still stuck in areas. So while it's doing its little marinating thing here, alright, so you can see you got the stuff marinating in there. Got the alcohol marinating on that. Little knife, and pick out that rock that's stuck in there. We don't need that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to fill this container with nice hot water. Pump in some soap. Just like that right there. That's it. Just soap and water. You know? Get that nice and soapy. And we'll put this in this side right here. And first I'm going to go after this side. Nice hot water. I'm basically just going to spray everything down. Nice jet of water. Get all that alcohol and stuff off of there. Well, it's technically kind of like cleaning stuff. At the same time, rotate parts. And this is one of my bad bearings. This is the, I believe this is the rear. So I just want to get in there. Boy, that's already freeing up. Wow, that's nice. Push it down. Go to the other side. Same thing, get the water right in there. Flush that right out. Get all that junk that's in there, in those bearings, right out. Look at that. Wow, big difference, big difference. Already freeing up. Yep, nice. You just take soap, and you basically wash all the parts down. The camera stopped, didn't even realize it. So, it's basically just using the power of the soap to do the job. You know what I'm saying? Soap has a way of releasing debris, dirt, grease, whatever. And because these bearings are technically a sealed bearing, you really don't have to really be super concerned, except for the fact that mine has just a slight bit of an issue concerning the ones where the seals have blown out. But I'm probably going to end up just replacing the rears anyway, so no big deal. So that's all soaped up, hot water, and then we're just going to basically flush it out. Get this piece out. It's nice hot water. That piece, and I'm going to set it down on some paper towels to kind of let it drip dry, and then what I'll do is I'll just wipe it down and then maybe use a air compressor. I'm not quite sure, so But it's basically just like I said, it's just a quick little wipe down. Moving parts, we'll hit that with some hot water. Get all that junk out of there. Nice. Beautiful. And then, like I said, we'll just lay it down in some paper towels, which you probably can't see out of the camera angle right over there. So, that's pretty much it. Take this out as one complete unit, which is like a pretzel right now. Just like that. Looks pretty good. Looks like we got all the junk out of there, I think. Yeah. Satisfied with that. Again, just kind of shake it out a little bit. See, nice and clean, you know. Move over to that, you know, that shock towel brace. That literally just use a hose down, you know. Perfect. Hose down. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to the parts that are in this side, and I'm going to move them over so we can start to get these washed. So, and I will, obviously now these are the greasy parts, so I am going to concentrate a little bit more as far as the soap goes on all of these parts over here. So, soap, alcohol spray, get a brush, basically just, it's all manual labor, man. It's all manual labor. And you can literally like feel inside how it's doing. And that actually feels pretty good. I'm going to use a little bit more soap. I'm going to really get into that crevice. But all these plastic parts, good idea just to use good old-fashioned elbow grease, soap and water. And we don't need to keep the camera rolling, so I am going to shut it off, but it's basically just using soap and water and, you know, just basically just really elbow greasing all of the junk out of there. So for the tougher locations, what I actually did is I actually squeezed or pumped the Dawn. I'd recommend Dawn. Dawn seems to work. I actually put the Dawn fluid right in there. Fluid, whatever, dishwashing, you know, stuff. And then I take, like, this is just a very cheap, inexpensive Harbor Freight brush. You can call them disposable, but I've had this thing for a couple of years now, and it does its job. And basically, you're just going to scrub, you know, just elbow grease. And then I got this one right here, which is nice because this one gets into the crevices nice and deep. And just work your way around. Get the soap. Nice, hot water is definitely going to be your friend. It's not going to be your friend to your hands, but it's going to be your friend to get all this junk out of here. So this thing effectively was all grease covered, and now it's completely free of any kind of grease or anything that may have been in there. There's nothing in there, so we'll just make sure that it's completely rinsed off. And then work on this piece so you can see it's got that kind of like greasy look to it inside of those channels. So what I'll end up doing is See right there? See that junk in there? So I'm gonna put the dishwashing fluid right, whatever it is, the Dawn, that blue stuff right there. I'm gonna put it right in there, and then I'm gonna scrub it, do the same exact thing. It is. I came across some of the stubbornness. Some of this area was stubborn, and you can see it looks like there's water in here. It's actually not water, it's alcohol. And the alcohol helps break up that junk. It's literally, it's just, there's no way around it. There's no, like, magic. It's literally just, you got to do work. You got to use the right brushes. Just get in there, be aggressive. You know, I mean, you're just dealing with plastic, you know. Just get in there and really scrub, and don't be afraid to use soap, you know. Get that soap in there, you know. Helps kind of like collect the dirt. You know, you are going to wreck your hands, but again, pay the price, right? See how this alcohol actually breaks down those bubbles? And then just get your finger in there and use your fingers, you know. Biggest thing is just making sure you get all the junk just out of there, so we can start over fresh, start over new, and maybe never take the XMAXX to that spot again. Oh my God. Yeah, let me get a paper towel and I'll show you how clean it is. So, paper towel's wet. Look at that. Clean paper towel. That's a very good sign. That means we were able to get all that grit that basically gets adhered to the plastic. It's all gone. Now the next best thing to do would be to take an air compressor to this and get all just the water and whatever out of here, you know. So that's it. Then we got a bowl of stuff just marinating again in the soap, and I'll take these parts out again and I'll just kind of alcohol them and basically do the same thing. It's called manual labor, and with a brush, and yeah, you are going to mangle your fingers. If you really want to get the work done, or you want to get the job done right, you're going to mangle your fingers. So just live with it, you know. XMAXX, just live with it. Got that. Scrub that in there. Give it a flush. Same thing with this. A little more alcohol spray. Your fingers are going to burn, but that's okay. Wear gloves if you're worried. Give that a flush. Get out these covers. Same thing. A little alcohol spray. Another flush. Same thing again. Alcohol spray. It's really quick. You know? A little bit of a flush. We got this piece right here. Now this piece was a problem child, right? Because this is gray plastic. So I'm gonna get my brush in there and really aggressively go after it. Put some soap right into it. The more soap the better. See how the soap's kind of turning like a gray-black? Because it's getting all the junk out of there. It's also cleaning the brush. Little flush. Look at that piece. Piece looks brand new now. No more black residue. No more of that grit, you know, feeling kind of sandy stuff that was in there. It's all gone. Hot water. You are going to burn yourself. Just be careful. Our water is set a little extra hot, which is fine. Hot stuff, baby. Wow. Give it a little bit of a douse in the clean tank, in the clean side. And now I've just got a couple of other parts that I am going to wash down. And these are just the plastic easy parts. I'll do a little bit of the, you know, alcohol spray, why not? You know, in prep. Just like this right here. Just give it a little bit of spray. Not gonna hurt nothing. Same thing with this, a little alcohol spray, just to kind of break it up. And this piece right here, just give that little swirl. Perfect. Give this a little scrub. Now these pieces really don't matter. This is just aesthetics. Same thing with this piece, the shock tower really doesn't matter. It was more the differentials and anything that had something to do with the gear that was kind of, you know, more important. Give this a flush. Get some soap involved. Really scrub it up nice. Bump area. This is that servo piece. We'll give that a little bit of an alcohol bath. Same thing. Just give it a nice little scrub. It's more using your hands. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Get that in there. Nice. That piece is all set. Grab this piece. Same thing. Boom. Hot water. Woo. Hot water will definitely help release. The other thing you're going to want to make sure that you do is after you do like this hot water treatment and all that stuff, is a pile of XMAXX right there, pile of XMAXX. And we do have this spine right here. All of these screws are the same. So I'm going to tip this out basically right here. All these screws are exactly the same. You want to make sure you get them all out. Come on, get out, get out. So, no issue. And then we'll wash that. Give it a quick little douse of water. Inside, no big deal. Some soap. Give it a nice little scrub down. We'll even take the drive shaft. Give that a nice little scrub down. Look at that. Thing of beauty right there. Spray this off. Same thing. Just get all the soap, crevices, pile of XMAXX. And then basically I'm going to just move on to the chassis, and I'm going to just water down those ears on the chassis, both front and rear, just to kind of get that stuff off. I'm going to be careful of the fan and electronics that are there. Just be careful because right now the receiver box is open. I could probably close that up, but I'm just going to chance it. So anyways, let's just keep doing it. I just wanted to show you basically the progression, right? So this gear is all nasty. Basically all I do is just put soap in there and just basically pretend like it's almost like washing my hands. And that completely coats the gear. Also gets your hands nice and clean, but completely coats the gear and gets all the garbage out of there. And then obviously just going to run it under hot water and maybe use a brush. You can see what this gear looked like. Now I obviously didn't show you what it looked like prior, but it was pretty nasty looking. But once I'm done here, I'll let you get a little glimpse of what it looks like. Water's nice and hot. There you go. Now what I recommend doing is, granted these gears are probably chromed or whatever they're made out of, but what I would do is once these are dry, don't be afraid to give them a quick little spritz of WD-40. So anything that's metal that I've got is going to get a spritz of WD-40, And basically everything that is in this area right here is also going to get a very light coat of WD. That's just like how I'm going to do it. So it's like everything. I don't really care. You know, it's to keep everything nice, you know. I'll pull out one of these arms. So obviously you can see this looks dirty, but technically this is basically clean. It's just, it has the dirt basically impacted into the scratches of the plastic. So once I hit this with WD, I mean, look at it, there's no dirt that's coming off of my hand. If I take a paper towel and give it a rub, really shouldn't have anything appreciable on this paper towel. That paper towel is nice and clean. It's basically just the scarring of the plastic that you're pretty much seeing. So yeah, you know, this is just literally what you've got to do. Definitely going to blow some air into these pin areas. I don't think I'm going to take it apart, because what I will end up doing is, like I said, a nice coat of WD. I'll also hit it with my JORC heat gun just to keep things nice. And I'll probably drip a couple squirts of oil into this little bearing pocket, depending upon how we're feeling here. So it looks like this bearing. So yeah, I'll probably squirt a couple of drops of oil in there. I may take it apart, I'm not sure. But this is basically just, you know, how I clean, you know, let's say, maybe not necessarily a vehicle like this, you know, before, because this is such a big vehicle. Now, here's the differential. Now, look at that diff. That thing is sparkling now. So I'll do the same exact thing with this thing. I will hit this with some air, with some heat, and then shoot it with some WD-40, you know, just to keep it nice. Same thing with this. This is also one of those little shaft gears. It's supposed to have a gear on the end. I don't know where that is, I think. I don't know. Well, whatever. But clean the inside, just ran a paper towel through it, and, you know, cleaned up the gears and everything's mint. You will end up with prune hands, which is what I have, but that's okay. My hands are also very clean now. Probably cleaner than they've been in years. Well, not years, but... Now you are moved over to this side to just get a very slightly different perspective. This is obviously the uncleaned gear, and I'm just going to basically just show you how I do it. So what my process was literally just take the alcohol. Again, you're going to find where your cuts are on your hands. Wear gloves if you want. You can already see it's kind of coming off, and I'm going to pump some of that dishwashing soap in there, and basically just rub it all in. The combination of the alcohol and the dishwashing liquid, it does break it down. So then I can take my brush and basically just brush it. It's just, there's no magic fluid. There's no, like, anything that is going to, what do they call it? No magic pill. There's no magic pill. So literally just getting it done. You know? I'm going to take this little brush, and I'll brush outward on the gears. Brush outward. Grab a little bit more soap. Give it another final little scrub here. Be careful of sharp metal. There's a little bit of sharp edges on these cups. So if you want to wear gloves, just do that. Again, get my brush. Give it a little swirl. Dump it in. Hot water. And it should be mint. Look at that. Totally, totally clean. You could probably eat off that. Not that I'd recommend it. Now we'll go for this gear here. Basically, I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to pump some alcohol onto it. This one I may treat a little bit different because this did have some grit. So I'll pump it like that. And I'll get this brush, get in there. Go on the other side of it. Get it in there. Get right into those grooves. Give it a quick little rinse off. Pump in some soap. See? And basically just wash it with my hands. You know? Just basically like wash my hands with the gear. There's really no sharp edges on this, so I'm not worried. Take that brush, get in there, get the teeth, like brushing your teeth. It's work, man. This is no joke. But this is also no joke of a vehicle. Give it a flush, hot water. There we go. Good as new. Nice and clean. Perfect. Now this will kind of do the same, except for the bearings. I'm actually not going to wash the bearings. I can dry rub those. I don't really need water to clean these bearings because these are a sealed bearing. Basically just wiping off the crud that's on there. See? Just get that junk out of there. Same thing on that side. And just roll it up. Push it through. Nice and clean. Now this cush drive, just going to basically do the same thing, except I will pull this gear off. It's just if you do that, make sure you don't lose that pin that's right there. So we can clean this gear. See how nasty this gear is? Wait till you see how clean it looks when I'm done. Same process. Alcohol. Let it marinate on it. Get a brush. Get the big stuff. See how it's all turning black? Wash it out. Get a little bit of soap in there. Basically just like I'm washing my hands. And then once it gets to a point, introduce a brush. Brush all the teeth out. Get into those little crevices that are in there. A little flush. A little bit of hot water. Now, this one, it'll be nice to use an air compressor to get into any of those little holes right there, which is what I'll do, but it actually looks like it's pretty good. Do maybe like a little bit of extra, extra scrubbing inside. Seems like the bristles of this brush really aren't getting down in there, but close enough. So the best thing for this gear is going to be getting an air compressor and getting into all of those little nooks and crannies right there. So we can leave this gear alone. Now the cush drive, very easy. Just slide your pin out. Just don't lose it. Put your pin somewhere else. You can dry rub it. That way it stays clean. So that's all dry rubbed. And with this, we do have a bearing here, but I don't think this bearing is going to be able to slide over. I think it goes the opposite way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a paper towel and get the schmutz off of there, just like that. And then I'm going to literally just hand wash it with some soap, just like this. Again, if you're worried about your hands getting shredded, just wear some gloves. Take your brush, brush it nice. Brush the backside. Get your gears. Flush. Water. Whew, hot stuff. Done. Nice and clean. See? Thing of beauty right there. You know? Look how nice and clean that is. This thing is going to be like factory. So this is our last gear. So real quick, a little soap. Like I'm washing my hands. Introduce the brush. Get those gears, those teeth. And I'm kind of rotating it as I go. And then I'm inspecting just the gear itself, just making sure that I do get all of this little section. Well, this part of the gear, because the way this gear is beveled, it can, depending upon how you brush it, it can make it difficult to get all the junk out of there. So, rinse it. Bam. Nice and clean. Brand new. So, here's what all these gears look like. All nice and clean, shined up. And here is the pile, technically, the pile of XMAXX. So, I guess that's it. So, now it's going to be assembly. I gotta get rid of my prune hands first. Oh, jeez. Into the woods. Holy crap! Oh, body off! Oh my god. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Oh, oh Jesus Christ. Oh yeah! That was right to my face!